है, आप नया सदस्य जोड़ सकते।
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। श्रीमात्रे नमः। We will first do a revision of verse number 9, shloka 9. महीमूलाधारे कमपि मणिपूरे हुतवहं स्थितं स्वाधिष्ठाने हृदि मरुतमाकाशमुपरि मनोऽपि भ्रूमध्ये सकलमपि भित्त्वा कुलपथं सहस्रारे पद्मे सहरहसि पत्या विहरसे. So this was a very interesting shloka because it went through the entire series of what is done in the Sri Vidya Prapancha description. So the entire how the 24 tattvas originate, the 24 tattvas, how they interact with each other, where the 5 elements are. And I also explained that there is a slight bit of difference between the element placement of Shankaracharya as compared to the element placement in the tantras. For example, if you look at the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, then it clearly puts the Swadhisthana as the water element and Mooladhara as the, the Manipuraka as the fire element. So the element placement, very clearly it was put over there. Then he also talked about in this particular, the process of how the creation happens and how she moves from the Kundalini. She rises, penetrating through all the 6 chakras and also the 3 granthis, right? Now, to revise that, we have to first look at verse number 36 of the Lalita Sahasranama. So, if you will open that, then we can quickly recite that and revise also. Lalita Sahasranam, verse number 36, shloka 36. मूल मंत्रात्मिका मूल कूटत्रय कलेवरा. You ready? मूल मंत्रात्मिका मूल कूटत्रय कलेवरा कुलामृतैक रसिका कुल संकेत पालिनी कुलांगना कुलांतस्था कौलिनी कुल योगिनी अकुला समयांतस्था Samayachara Tatpara. Now the actual, this is she is part of the Kaula Marga as well as the Samaya Marga. When both Margas, where is she? She is saying, she herself says, Mooladhare Kanilaya Brahma Granthi Vibhedini Manipuranta Rudita Vishnu Granthi Vibhedini Agya Chakrantaralastha Rudra Granthi Vibhedini Sahasrarambujarudha Sudha Sarabhivarshini. So here, if you see, she has jumped. We are jumping Mooladhara, and then from there, not Swadhisthana, straight to Manipuraka. Why? Because in between the Granthi also comes. So she crosses the Granthi and she moves from the Granthi to the next chakra. Then again she gets stuck with the Granthi. She penetrates that Granthi, moves on further to the Agya chakra. From there she penetrates, she moves on further. And ultimately she goes to the Sahasrara, from where she showers Sudhasara. Sudhasara means Amrita, nectar. So she showers nectar. Then, very interestingly, then she comes back. See the last verse number 40. Tatillata samaruchi shakchakropari samstita. So she comes back as Mahasakti Kundalini Visatantu Taniyasi. So in the form of the slender lotus stalk, she goes back to that particular point. Now, this particular shloka of or shlokas or if you look at the Lalita Sahasranam itself, which came first? Soundarya Lahari or Lalita Sahasranam? You're on mute. You said something.
Is it Lalita Sahasranam?
Lalita Sahasranamam first.
Obviously, because it was given to Hayagriva, right?
Ah.
So in another kalpa only, not even in this kalpa, right? So this is we are completely different kalpa. It was given Shvetavaraha kalpe, we say, right? This is the Shvetavaraha kalpa. Before that, there is another kalpa. That in that kalpa, this has happened. And there, Hayagriva was created by Devi herself, using the body of Vishnu to kill another demon called Hayagriva, and then Hayagriva took on the position of being the Guru and in the Shakti Marga. And therefore, Hayagriva actually for the Vaishnava Marga also, he is taken as the Adi Guru. So Hayagriva was given this. Now, it is very, Lalita Sahasranam is very concise. So it needed to be expanded. One of the expansions of these 5 or 6 shlokas, we have already seen how the chakras, she moves from the chakras and goes to the Sahasrara, and there she unites with Shiva and she resides over there. Lalita ji, you might have to mute because there is some background noise coming from your side.
Oh, sorry.
So now in verse number 10, Sudha dhara saresh charana yugalantargata vigalitaihi. Sudha dhara saresh charana yugalantara vigalitaihi. It's one word, so I'm repeating again slowly. Sudha dhara saresh charana yugalantargata vigalitaihi. Next line. Prapancham sinchati punarapi rasamnaya mahasaha. Prapancham sinchati punarapi rasamnaya mahasaha. Third line. Or first, let's do the first 2 lines. Sudha dhara saresh charana yugalantargata vigalitaihi. Prapancham sinchati punarapi rasamnaya mahasaha.
In mine, it is given as Sinchanti. The
Yes,
Chanti has come.
Sinchanti only.
Okay.
Prapancham sinchanti punarapi rasamnaya mahasaha. Avapya swam bhumim. 3 words. Avapya swam bhumim. The next word. Bhujaga nibham adhyushta valayam. Bhujaga nibham adhyushta valayam. Avapya swam bhumim. Bhujaga nibham adhyushta valayam. Swamatmanam kritva swapishi kulakunde kuharini. Swamatmanam kritva swapishi kulakunde kuharini. Avapya swam bhumim bhujaganibham adhyushta valayam. Swamatmanam kritva swapishi kulakunde kuharini. Full shloka. Sudhadhara saresh charana yugalantargata vigalitaihi. Prapancham sinchanti punarapi rasamnaya mahasaha. Avapya swam bhumim bhujaganibham adhyushta valayam. Swamatmanam kritva swapishi kulakunde kuharini. So here He says, Sudha Dhara Sare. So, having filled, see, from her charana, Charana Yugalantar Gata Vigalitehi. Vigalita means melted, flowing from by melting. So the between the 2 feet, the space between the 2 feet, from there is a melting that is happening, which is flowing. You have to imagine this very clearly. You can imagine her 2 beautiful feet covered with alta, right? You know alta, right? That red coloring that we put. So that covered with alta, her nails shining as much as all the stars and the moon, sun, everything put together. From those feet, covered, decorated with beautiful anklets. Pinjanamani, you remember in Lalita Sahasranam we've seen, right? So beautiful anklets she is covered. From those feet, between the 2 feet that she is standing, the flow nectar is flowing. Charana Yugalantargata Vigalitehi. What is flowing? Sudha Dhara Sare. Right? Nectar is flowing down. And what is it doing? Prapancham Sinchanti. Sinchanam means to irrigate. Right? So to irrigate. So Prapancham means this entire universe, we can call it. Okay, anything that is made of the 5 meaning 5 base elements. So if it is anything made out of these 5 base elements, so it is called Prapancha. Prapancham Sinchati. Punarapi again. Rasamnaya Mahasaha. Glowing like the moon. Glowing like the moon. From the moon, the nectar is flowing. As if it is the nectar is flowing from the moon itself. Prapancham Sinchati Punarapi. So now, then let us go. Avapya, having attained Swam, own, Bhumim, in own place. Bhujaga, like a snake. Bhujaga Nibham, having attained one's place like a snake, coiled up snake. Adhyushta Valayam. Adhyushta Valaya means 3.5. 3.5. Adhyushta Valaya means 3.5. Right? Swamatmanam Kritva. So by doing all this, by her herself, Swapi she, going to sleep. Nidra Avastha, going to sleep. Where? Kulakunde, in the form of a Kundalini. Kuharini, in the hollow of the Mooladhara. So if you understand this, what has been described is very beautiful. In the first stanza, in number 9, we saw what is called the Unneya Bhumika. Unneya Bhumika, the rising. So she rose one by one from the Mooladhara to the Swadhisthana to the Manipuraka to the Anahata to the Vishuddhi to the Agya and to the Sahasrara, where she resided in secret with her husband. That is what was described. When she penetrated through all these chakras, what happened to the chakras? The chakras became invisible because they got absorbed in her. So the complete system of nadis has got absorbed and has gone up into the Sahasrara. Then the Shakta worshipper says, if that happens, mother, then how do I enjoy you? I will merge into you. No, I don't want to merge into you. I want to be away from you so that I can worship you. I want to be away from you so that you and I, there is a distance and I can see you and I can worship you. See, the Shakta tradition is a very beautiful tradition because it starts with the Dvaita Mata. You and I. Then it moves into Vishishta Dvaita Mata, saying that the Jiva and the Shiva are completely different until the point of merger. See, in the Dvaita Mata, Jiva and Shiva are completely different. Right? Kashmir Shaivism or Madhva Vaishnavism, both of them will talk of this. Right? The Jiva and Shiva are completely different. So Jiva has only one duty to do ultimately, which is to serve Shiva, to follow the instructions of Shiva. When we go deeper into it and we come to know Shiva a little bit, we realize that I may be appearing to be very different, but when we merge, we become same. That is the Advaita Vishishta Advaita stand. That they are different, but non-different, because at the point of merger, they become the same. And then Advaita says that there is no difference at all. You are projecting the difference by yourself. By her own Shakti, she is creating or projecting the difference, and you have got stuck in the Avarana Shakti and the Vikshepa Shakti of Maya. That is the Advaitic stand. Now the Shakta actually travels this distance. He starts as a Dvaita. He says, "Oh mother, I want to be separated from you because I want to worship you." Right? You came back from Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, we keep saying Radhe Radhe. Why do we say Radhe Radhe? Because she personifies the Jivatma. The personification of the Jivatma, which is continuously seeking the Krishna, is Radha. Jivan dhara viparitiyati iti Radha. Dhara, Radha. She turns your direction ulta. Right? In that state, that viraha of being away from Krishna, that itself was so powerful that Sri Krishna apparently took another avatar in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to experience the difference, the distance between Radha and Krishna. The viraha felt by Radha, he wanted to experience. That was so powerful. He just came back for that only thing. So that the Shakta Dvaita starts his journey. Then he moves to a point where he has come into the Sri Chakra at the Trikona level, and he can see that Shiva and he appear to be similar. And then at the Bindu, they become similar. They become the same. And from the Bindu's perspective, then he says, now I need to go back into the world and preach your words. I need to shout from every rooftop. But how do I do it if I have merged? She flows back. As she flows back, Punarapi, it says Punarapi, again. So it recreates. So as she flows down, she recreates all the 6 chakras. But this time, they are not ordinary. They are glowing. Rasamnaya Mahasaha. They are glowing, each of them glowing like the moon. So she comes back, and what does she do? She goes into the hollow of the Mooladhara, Kuharini. Kuharin means hole. Kuharini, residing in the hole. In what form? Adyushtabalayam, 3.5 coils. So she attains her own bhumi, Swabhumim. Right? Having done all this, Swamatmanam Kritva, having done all this, she goes and resides in that hole and goes back to sleep. Swapishi. She goes back to sleep. She has done her job. She has made you Shiva. And with her power, with her consciousness, you now function in the world. These 2 shlokas give us the journey, upward and downward. So the Kundalini, when it is ascending through the 6 chakras, she is absorbing all the chakras. And they are being invisible. They have to be reproduced and made manifest out of her own radiance. In that radiance, and she is going down, she sprinkles nectar. Sudhasare. Sudhasare sinchati. Right? And where is the Sudhasara coming from? From her feet. Her feet are residing here. From here, the Amrita starts flowing, and she recreates the entire chakra system, and then the Nadi system, and then she flows down that again, eliminating each of the chakras again. Rasamnaya Mahasaha. So all the 21 tattvas represented by the 6 chakras now get resplendent, get radiant, because they are now reflecting her form. And oh mother, you now take up your own form, serpent-like, with 3.5 coils, thin like the lotus stem. Visatantu. Right? Visatantu. Where did we see Visatantu? Lalita Sahasranam. Visatantu taniyasi. We see that here again. So you take that own form again, very thin, coiled up like a snake, 3.5 times. Bhujaga nibha. Right? We see also the Bhujaga nibham, like a snake. Adyushtabalayam, 3.5 times. Where? In the Kuharin. Kuharin means hole. In the hollow. So therefore you are Kuharini. right? And she is called Kulakunda, Kundalini or Kundalini. So this is the entire flow of how she moves up and how she moves down. I was trying to find the meaning of Adhyushta Valayam in from some dictionaries. There is no etymological explanation for Adhyushta Valayam. I don't know why it has come as, but all dictionaries put it as 3.5. But they don't explain where that word is coming from. Valayam means coiling. Adhyushta means 3.5. I don't know where it has come from, but it's a very interesting word. So this is the explanation of verse number 10. Right?
You said like Chandras, from Chandra. That is that Rasa stands for Chandra, is it?
Correct. Rasamna, Amnaya is the 6 directions, 6 principal directions. Right? North, south, east, west, and up and down. Why 6? 6 chakras. Rasa means here indicating the moon. Right? Why is it indicating the moon? Good question. Because the moon is supposed to be the source of nectar for the entire universe, right? Sun is supposed to be the center, the source of energy. But moon is supposed to be the life energy. So sun gives the energy to grow. But how do you remain healthy? You remain healthy because of the moon. It is very interesting that the tidal forces of the moon is what has created evolution on Earth. Without the tidal forces, evolution would not have happened. The sea would not have moved back and forth. Animals would not have been deposited on the sand and then moved from the sea into the sand. All of that evolution, the source of life is the moon. Hence, Sudhasare. So here he says, Rasamnaya Mahasaha. Mahasaha, to be glowing. Amnaya, directions, right? Or the 6 principal chakras. So the lunar regions.
Is it also the equivalent of the Hatha, sun and the moon?
No. Hatha is the in and out breath. So the Kulakunda is the Trikona of the Sri Chakra. And in the Bindu, there is a hollow in which he goes and coils up. Right? That is another meaning of saying Kulakunda. Kunda means hole. Kulakunda, hole that is worshipped by the Kaulas. So Kulakunda, that is the Trikona. And in that Trikona, the hollow, the Bindu, the Mooladhara, he goes and resides. So how did she create? We call it the Srishti Krama, moving from the Bindu to the entire Prapancha. She moves out, creating, and then she moves back and resides peacefully. Right? Now it is up to us what we do with this energy.
So this between 9 and 10, this whole Soundarya Lahari is between this 9 and 10 only, as in like the whole explanation of...
And the explanation of Kundalini. The explanation of Kundalini only is in 9 and 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, as we go forward, we will see many other things coming up.
Anna, Avapya?
Attaining. To attain. Avapya. Having attained.
And Vigalita is flow or melt?
Can anything melt, flow without melting? Galanam means to melt. Vigalite Visheshena, melting. So it therefore indicates flowing. So Vigalite means automatically it will flow because it is in the melted state.
Okay.
It says, na, Himashila Vigalitai means Gangotpana, Gomukhe Ganga Dhara Utpanna Yati. That is what it says. Himashila Vigalitai Gomukhe Ganga Dhara Utpanna Yati. So it says that Ganga Dhara comes from the melting of the Himashila. Himashila, Him means snow, Shila means stone. So the rock-like stone, which is the glacier, as it vigalitai, as it starts melting, Ganga Dhara Utpayati. Ganga comes from there. So we have done this. Now we will look at the, we were looking at the Annapurna Stotram. So we will look at that shloka. So which shloka were we on? कैलासाचल आचल कंदरालय करी गौरी उमा शंकरी कौमारी निगमार्थ गोचर करी ओंकार बीजाक्षरी मोक्ष द्वार कवाट पाटन करी काशीपुराधीश्वरी भिक्षाम देहि कृपावलंबन करी माता अन्नपूर्णेश्वरी. So Kailashachala, Achala means that which does not move. Kailashachala. Earlier, it is believed that the mountains had wings and they used to fly and they used to go all over the place. So then one day, Bhumi Devi complained, and Bhumi Devi said they are disturbing all the mountains. They go and jump into the river, they jump into the sea, they sit down on the top of a town, they are disturbing us, so we do something about it. So then Indra went and started cutting off the wings of all the mountains. So Vayu had a friend called Mainakagiri. Mainakagiri was a friend. So he blew with a gust of wind, he blew Mainakagiri and dipped him into the sea and told Mainakagiri to hide in the sea. So Mainakagiri was the only mountain which continued to retain his wings, but have become wiser. He stopped flying around in every place, but he used to go under the sea. So now, when Sri Hanuman was jumping and going across the ocean, 100 yojanas, suddenly in the middle of the ocean, a mountain came. And Hanuman thought it was an obstruction. So he hit that mountain with his chest. The mountain had to move back by 2 feet. And then said, Vayuputra, come and rest on me. I am your father's friend. Your father saved me. And he tells the story of how Mainakagiri was protected by Vayu. And then, so Anjaneya does not take a rest over there. He says, I am on a job, I am on a duty, so I will not rest. So he caresses Mainakagiri with his hand and he keeps flying. So Mainakagiri is not Achala, he is Chala. All the other mountains in the world are all Achalas. Kailashachala. Kailasha Achala. So Sandhi, Kailashachala. So here we get Kailashachala Kandaralaya Kari. What is Kandara? We have seen this. No. Kandaralaya Kari. Kailashachala Kandaralaya Kari. Kandara is a grove of trees. Is a grove of trees. We have seen this in when we were looking at Lalita Sahasranam, the descriptions. Also in Soundarya Lahari, the first 4 stanzas, we have seen the grove of trees, right? Kadamba Kandara. So we have seen that she lives in the Kandara. Kandara means a grove of trees. Where is this grove of trees? In Kailashachala. In the Kailashachala, she is living in the Kandaralaya Kari. And then we give her names. Gauri, Uma, Shankari, Gauri. How did she get the name Gauri? What does the word Gauri mean? What does the word Gauri mean? You are on mute, Lalitaji.
Yeah. Fair.
Correct. She's fair.
Fair,
right?
yeah.
Gauri. We say na Gora hai, Kala hai. So Gora, Gauri. How did she become Gauri? So Shiva and Parvati, they were playing dice. And as usual, Parvati was winning. Shiva tried to cheat. Parvati got angry. They started fighting with each other. Shiva told her, tu to Kali hai. You are dark. Now she got so angry, saying that, oh, you think I'm dark? Here, I take my darkness and I take it outside and put it. So when she took her darkness and she put it outside, that became another Devi called Kali. And Devi became fair, golden hued. And so therefore she got a name, Gauri. Her original name in the Upanishad itself is called Uma Haimavati. Kenopanishad gives her name as Uma Haimavati. Right? And Shankari means she who is auspicious. she who is auspicious. Kaumari. So Kaumari, she who is also a or she who is a celibate person. So Kaumari. Nigamartha Gocharakari. So Nigama, there are two types of agamas. One is called the agama, the other is called the nigama. The agama is where Shiva explains things to Shivani. Where Shivani explains to Shiva, it is called nigama. Nigama artha gochara kari. She is the one who explains the arthas of the nigamas. Omkara bijakshari. Omkara itself is a bija. There are two meanings here. You are the Omkara, that is one meaning. Omkara, the bija called Omkara, that is you. Another meaning is you are the bija of Omkara. You are the root of Omkara. So that is another meaning. Moksha dwar kapata patana kari. She is the one who opens. Kapata means the two wings of the door. And she opens the wings of the door. Moksha dwar kapata patana kari. So kapata, she opens the two wings of the door. Patana kari, she is the one who opens them. Kashi Puradhishwari, Viksham Dehi Kripavalambanakari, Kari, Mata Annapurneshwari. So people generally restrict Annapurna to being only the Devi of food. But when you look at the Annapurna Ashtakam, you realize that she is the supremest of supremes in and this is the truest essence of Advaita Vedanta, where we say Purnamadah Purnavidam Purnata Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. If you take some part from the whole, that part is also the whole. What is whole? That is whole. This is whole. Purnamadah Purnavidam Purnata Purnamudachyate. If you take even the whole out of the whole, still it remains infinite. This is the concept of infinity. Right? And the Upanishads talk about it. And we see that here. Annapurna, very, very restricted. Oh, she is the Lord of food. She is and she is represented by rice or by wheat. But here we see Moksha Dwara Kavata Patanakari, Omkara Bijakshari. Right? Even the source of Omkara is Devi herself. That is the essence of this shloka of Annapurnashtakam.
Here, why that her has come? Gauri Huma Shankari. Instead of only Uma. Why is it in my book it is Hu? Her.
Okay, Gauri. Okay, so it will be Gauri Hi Uma Shankari. You certainly. Right, but actually in the original text that I have, the Chinmaya Mission text, it does not have the he. So Huma will mean he Uma, Gauri he Uma Shankari. So that would be certainly. You are Gauri, you are Uma, you are certainly Uma, you are Shankari. You are the so here the word certainly will then indicate that the original Devi of the Upanishads. You are that Uma. That is why it would have been Huma, Gauri Huma Shankari. Could be.
And you were telling about that Chalagiri. It is what? Mainakagiri?
Mainakagiri.
Okay.
Right. Let us end.
You know, when you tell us these stories, we feel like little kids, you know. Listening to.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.